Good morning, all. I hope you slept well. I did. My son and I started watching Stranger Things again because the new one's coming out, I think, in November. I'll never forget when I watched that season for the first time. Fun memories there. You know, it came to me last night in the midst of my dreams. You know, we're in a world right now where so many times enough people like to make examples of people. They really do. And when I say examples, I mean people like to just tear people down, create narratives, create plots and schemes, create humiliation rituals, create all these things to use them as an example, because that said person that's trying to use them as an example doesn't want to be caught. Doesn't want to be caught for truly who they are, truly what they do, you know, whether that's in their personal life, that's in their business life, that's in their spiritual, religious life, right? And that goes all to play when it comes to projections and redirections. Like you see that all over the news when it comes to things that they talk about and stuff like that. Instead of talking about the brass grass of what needs to be talked about, they just refuse to do it because nobody wants to take accountability. Nobody wants to take accountability, nor does anybody want to step up to the front lines and start creating some change, some true change. Like, it's going to be September, you know, in a few days. And I'm trying to figure out what exactly has transpired for the better in our great nation. I mean, yeah, the borders are getting secure. Thank you for that. You know, but I'm talking about on the economically, what has changed for the better. Like the food prices are still high. The gas prices are still substantial. Utilities still are at a high. The cost to buy homes, the cost to rent homes, insurance premiums, like everything inside of the monetary side of things inside has not changed. And nobody is making more money. No, 99% of companies are not giving raises. Very rarely are they giving raises. People that have been there for years upon years are still making the same amount of money they've been making for the last decade. But yet the cost of living keeps raising higher, 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 higher. Like, you make it make sense. That's why we're in the position we are in right now. Everybody's folding, everybody's falling. It's as if they wanted a certain group of people to stay at the top and carry the prominent amount of wealth in the United States, and only those people are allowed to have money, essentially, is the way I see it. And you see, that can only go on for so long. That can only go on for so long given the mechanics of the world, because it takes a balance inside the world for it to evolve as one. So you can't have a certain group of people only carrying all the wealth. It just won't substantially stay that way. It can't mechanically stay that way. It's going to fall, particularly when you have people carrying that wealth and they've done very, very, very dirty things to get it. Very, very immoral things to get it. And then God comes in and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What we're doing here, this isn't working. Right. And so I feel that that's where we're at in the turn of the century right now in my world. I've had many dreams about it, you know, and again, I'm going to resort back to the beginning of my video when it comes to making examples out of people, right? My entire life, people have felt compelled to make an example out of me for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it's just a part of my testimony and my story. My entire life, whether it's in friend groups, relationships, companies I work for, my family, everybody likes to make an example, right? And I'm in the season of life right now where God is using me to make an example of them. You know, and it's a very hard truth. It's a hard part of my walk. It's not my favorite. I don't like to be a walking mirror. I definitely don't like to be walking karma, you know. But I'm at a place in my life where I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to defend. And so if people want to continue on this path of making me an example of the power that they hold and the greed that they hold and the extent level that they will go to not take accountability and keep their little skeletons in the closet, well, God's going to keep using me as an example as well. It's a duality. It's a balance, a balancing of the scales. He just is. God, source, the most high, the divine. You can't beat God. You can't play God. And we live in a world right now where people are doing that. You know, that's why it's not anybody's job to make an example. Now, when it comes to accountability and constructive criticism, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm here for it, right? But there's a difference between trying to make somebody an example based off lies that you spread, narratives that you spread, dirty deeds that you did, coercion, bribery, medical malpractice, manipulating a minor, right? I mean, sky's the limit to the magnitude of what has been done to me, all based off just money, greed, power, and dirty deeds, right? And so when you find yourself on the fence of doing said things to try to make an example out of somebody, well, God's going to allow you to do that and think that you have the upper hand. He straight is. Absolutely. And he's going to allow you to think that you ain't got caught and that you've gotten away with it, because he's going to want to see how far you take it, because there has been multiple occasions on my entire life, on my entire purpose, where people have done very awful things and God has told them to stop within their conscience, shown them signs. I've had so many dreams about this. And now that the tables are reversing in different ways, people are trying to flip the narrative and play the victim as if they did nothing wrong, and then portray to the world like they're just these great people, even people within my family, right? And that's fine. You can keep portraying that life, but it will come crumbling down. It will. Because it just is one of those things where when you get to the position of life where you do such heinous, deceptive acts in your day-to-day, like that's the new norm for you, is to be deceptive, be disingenuous, to be mean, to be mocking, to be lying, to be unkind, to be judgmental, to steal, to coerce. When you carry those in your day-to-day activities, it will catch up to you. Because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not backing down. I fight the good fight the way that I fight it. And I'll continue pressing on. You know, period. I say what I say. I mean what I say. And I don't say everything neither. Because sometimes there's just certain things that the world just ain't ready for. They just aren't. It's going to have to walk its way out. You know, and so I just allow things to happen the way that they're supposed to. I don't have control of any of this. God does. I'm just a mere vessel. I'm just a mere vessel. But if you find yourself in life, in your day-to-day activities, where you feel like you're going out of your way to make examples of someone, well, be ready for the table to be flipped in different ways. Life wasn't designed for people to do such things. Life was designed to be happy and pure and kind to one another. And we're just losing sight of that in so many ways. It's just crazy. Ain't nobody got time for that. I know I ain't got time for that. No ma'am, no ma'am, no sir. What's today, the 30th? Magnificent. How majestic is the one who sits upon the throne of glory. I know that's right. God's holiness is pure, that instead of driving a wedge between him and us, it makes him approachable. That part. It makes him approachable. See, the reason why God isn't approachable for many, many people in this world is because of the things that they do, the seeds that they sow, because they don't carry a clear conscience. So because they don't carry a clear conscience, it's hard for them to approach God. It's hard for them to carry that intimate connection with him. Whether you say you're a church-going person or not, you still know what you carry on your conscience. You know where your intentions lie. you know, whether it's in your business activity